it.
Hello and welcome to episode 41 of the Pixel Related Podcast. Guys, it's the best time of gaming. Okay, that's actually true. In reality, this might be the worst time of gaming because it is the week before E3. Actually, just like a couple days before E3, because apparently E3 starts on Saturday now. Well, not technically E3, but there's press conferences and stuff like that for special pre-E3 events.
Pre-3.
Because E3 doesn't technically start until Tuesday. Tuesday, right, is when the actual press conference, when the actual show floor opens up. Ugh. Anyways.
Sorry.
No, I was going to say, anyways, we're going to do the thing that podcasts are supposed to do, which is we're going to talk about maybe, I don't know if they call it predictions. I don't know if you would call it, like just what we want to see, wishful thinking, hope.
Hope.
Maybe.
Do I have this world? Do I have any of that left?
Yeah.
So
as always, I'm your host. Kyle. We also have with us Adam.
This show is going to be a fucking disaster, and I take at least 1/3 of the responsibility for it. Actually, at most 1/3 of the responsibility for it.
Okay. And then taking the other 2/3 of the responsibility is Gus.
Thank you. Hello, everybody. I appreciate that.
As the host, I get the dole responsibility as whoever I see fit. So, so yeah, so that's what we're gonna talk about. There are new games and stuff out there. We'll talk about that sometime in like 3 weeks or 2 months or at the game of the year time. I don't know. We'll get to that at some point. But we'll talk about it
at some other point.
Yeah. Really, it's just Tekken, and Tekken sounds pretty crazy and pretty interesting. But we'll get
great.
We'll get to that in a later episode. We're going to talk about E3. Like I said, we're not going to go too crazy. We're not going to, we're going to make like wild statements that have no basis in facts whatsoever. So how do you guys, do you want to start off in like chronological order with press conferences? Do you want to just cover the big three? Well, how do you guys want to? We probably should have talked about this beforehand, but
let's walk through them. Let's do it. Let's do them all.
Let's do it.
Okay, so like I said, bright and early Saturday at 11. Was it 11? No,
noon
Pacific. EA is doing their, what do they call it? EA Play.
EA Play.
The earliest event.
Weed 3.
Oh my goodness. Weed 3 too.
Yes, it'll be great.
So let's. What do we got from EA this year? We got Battlefront's probably their biggest game.
Battlefront 2.
Battlefront 2 probably show off some campaign footage. From afar, I really appreciated what Battlefront 1, or it's hard to say because there's already been a Battlefront 1, but the Battlefront, the most recent one, like I didn't play. I messed with it. Like I played like the beta or whatever, and it was beautiful and it was kind of fun. But that's just like being a multiplayer only game and being kind of just what it was. It was never going to be the game for me. Much more interested in what this game should be because they are putting an actual story mode in it. But again, the story mode that's in Battlefield games is usually not very good.
Yeah, that is true.
But I mean, like this seems like there's actually a story mode there, which is more than I could at least say for the last one. Like there's at least something there, and like the idea of doing this, I guess now technically it's canon, story between the end of Jedi and the beginning of Awakens is kind of awesome. Like that's kind of cool.
Yes. Yep.
But
you played as the bad guys. I'm sure there's no redemption whatsoever coming for them.
I'm sure that won't happen.
Yeah.
Why would you think that
bad
was going
guys
to happen
the whole time?
I feel like it's going to be like that scene from what's that British show? What are we the baddies? Like I feel like that's going to be the twist. Like we have skulls on our caps and we parade death. Do you think we're bad guys?
Yeah, I was going to ask if this is actually supposed to be like official story for Star Wars. I didn't even know that. that's like official canon. So I mean, I guess that could be interesting, but like you said, there's only one way they can go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think once they kind of axed all the extended universe stuff with the release of Force Awakens and the selling to Disney and whatnot, I think like they're kind of going forward. I think they're saying that everything now is like canon stuff, like Force Awakens forward, and all that other stuff is fan fiction. I guess now it's kind of complicated, but
yeah, it's all the old extended universe, the original EU. Which what kind of fucking weird world do we live in where that's a thing? But yeah. Yeah, like I think like at this point it has to be, because otherwise it's just fan wankery, like that's it. So
yeah, well, and I mean, and look at the first Battlefront had that like the Return to Jakku DLC, so it was already kind of entrenched in the Force Awakens movie with kind of a little bit of that stuff in there, and obviously this is going to be coming out right alongside, or not right, but shortly before the next big giant Star Wars movie. So it, it's gonna make sense for them to kind of touch on some of that stuff in like later Star Wars lore. Yeah, I mean, I'm really hopeful for that game. Just because, yeah, like a great single player Star Wars game. When was the last time we had one of those?
KOTOR?
I mean, I think people would say it's probably not been that long. Like, I remember there was like some clone. Wasn't there some like clone trooper game that people said was pretty good? Like on the
Republic Commando.
KOTOR and Republic Commando were around the same time. Like they were both.
Okay.
Yeah, that's original Xbox. So
they were both original Xbox.
Yeah, I never played Republic Commando. So it's been a long time, basically.
Yeah,
it's really fucking good. Republic Commando is really fucking good. It is a shame that they never were able to do their sequel, because it was going to be Stormtrooper Commando, and it was going to be like you fucking murdering the younglings and shit. Like that'd be great.
So when was that? Was that like 15 years ago? Was that like 15 years ago at this point?
2005.
2005. Okay, 12. Wow. Okay.
But not that far fucking off,
Yeah. Jesus.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming that's going to be the main game for their conference. I mean, I can't really think of anything else they got coming up.
I mean,
there is still the other Star Wars game, the one that Visceral is working on with Amy Hennig.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Jade Raymond's part of that too. I forgot about that. Yeah. So like that was. I mean, we haven't seen anything from that, have we? Like it's all just
no. I don't think so. Yeah.
No, it's the thing that exists somewhere. So this might be the time when they actually come out and say what that is. That's not something I expect not this year at least, or that would be a huge shock if it was something that was coming out this year, but maybe we'll hear what's coming out.
First teaser or something.
Probably going to be a big FIFA section, because
that's true.
Do that. There's probably going to be that Need for Speed game that they announced. Payback.
They announced another Need for Speed game?
Yeah,
Payback.
I didn't even know that.
Payback. The point was brought up, I think, on Giant Bombcast, where Need for Speed games, their subtitles could just be WWE pay-per-views. Like the WWE pay-per-view names. Like just straight up, this one's called Payback. It's like that.
WWE Most Wanted. Yep, that works. It works.
Need for Speed. Need for Speed Fastlane. Like, yep. Yep.
Great balls of fire.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Need for Speed penis logo. Yep.
There's always hope that that BioWare like proper has actually been working on something, just because Andromeda was a giant shit show, so maybe that was a B team. And I mean, sorry, I know you liked Andromeda. I know you liked.
It was the B team, but like,
I fully admit that game was good, not excellent or anything. So, no
like I wonder, like, considering what it sounds like, the shit that happened with Montreal, like, if they're really aiming this towards their investors, does it make sense to be like, hey, by the way, BioWare, here's another thing from them? Or did they just, at this point, just like, yeah, we have to show something off from that? They've also said that they're working on a proper Dragon Age game, and what the fuck that means at this point is anybody's guess. So yeah, I mean, maybe.
Any
other than that, I don't know what else they show.
So, anybody have any crazy predictions for this conference?
Peggle 3.
I'm gonna go with a new Dead Space. Somehow, even though Viscera,
that is crazy. That is crazy.
I'm doing it now.
Another one of those games, and it really sucks.
Hey, we got Mirror's Edge too. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I was just thinking about EA. Isn't it about time for like another Sims game, like Sims 5 or something like that? Like, I feel like that last Sims game came out like 5 or 6 years ago.
I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, like that wouldn't be huge, but that was one of the first things that dropped in my mind. I was like, they probably sold they're on their like 25th expansion for that game. They probably got ready to start over from scratch.
Yeah,
I mean, maybe like, hey, here's the Katy Perry, Carly Rae Jepsen DLC for The Sims. Like, I don't fucking know at this point.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else that they might surprise us with.
I really hope they just have another one of those awkward ass post-conference red carpet things that they had last year, because that was the funniest shit ever. It made that EA press conference almost worth it. Like, almost. I also wouldn't be surprised if they're like, hey, here's this Battlefield 1 DLC thing that we've been working on. Because like that game sold a bunch, and
it did.
You might as fucking well,
Titanfall 3? Yeah, right. I wish.
That's a little early, baby.
Titanfall has gone free to play.
I know, right?
I mean, that'd be all right. That'd be all right.
We've announced that Titanfall is not going free to play, but we're making all of the multiplayer aspects of it free to play. It's a topical joke because Randy Pitchford is a fucking liar.
It's just about semantics, Adam. It's really just what it comes down to.
I can't keep track of the shit that Randy Pitchford says, so I don't even know what you guys are talking about.
So yeah, well, okay, so Battleborn went totally not free to play, in that you can't play the single player for that game for free, but they have all of the multiplayer unlocked. They have hero rotation, exactly like free-to-play game, and he was insistent that no, it's not a free-to-play game. And then he blamed Kotaku for it not happening sooner because they had reported like 6 or 8 months ago that, Battleborn's going free-to-play. And he's like, that semantics really like drove us to not, to slow down on that. It's like, well, that's really dumb of you.
Yeah, and they were saying it's not free to play; it's a free trial. I forget what exactly
trial
it was.
Forever.
He had a word. He had a word for it that implied like it's not. Yeah, it's the same. It's whatever. It's so dumb.
Honestly, I forgot that game even exists. I didn't even know that game had single player. So,
I mean, it has single player.
It has single player like Titanfall 1 had single player. Is my interpretation.
Yeah,
Battleborn single player.
Well, so you're not playing against other players in those maps. You're playing against the AI. They are set missions. They're okay.
Maybe it'd be better called like a co-op mode. Maybe.
Yeah, Like it's like you can totally play that thing single player, quote unquote, but it's impossible. Like it's very similar to Borderlands, where it's like Borderlands has an extremely fucking high difficulty if you try to play that game.
Yeah, trying to solo that shit. Yeah.
Like that's what it is. But yeah. Anyways, Titanfall. Let's do it. Let's make Titanfall 1 that. Yeah.
Let's make Titanfall. Anyways, I'd like to say EA's. I don't know. Like, I think that there's a couple things that we probably know that they're going to show. Hopefully, that there is going to be some kind of little surprise in there. Whether it's a smaller game like something like a Peggle or something like a mobile interpretation or They can't just spend the whole time talking about FIFA and Madden and Star Wars. Like,
I mean, they could.
They could. Have you seen how long they will talk? They will get Pele back out. They will drag him the fuck on stage to talk about FIFA for 20 minutes. It's like James Cameron Avatar. Like, it's like that, but with football. Like, you know.
Was it 2 or 3 years ago where their entire press conference was just like concepts? Like, hey, these are ideas that we have for games.
That was like 2 years ago.
They're not games yet, but these are like, and that was almost their entire press conference was just ideas that they had for games that aren't really going to turn. I think one of those turned into Steep or something, or was Steep Ubisoft?
Steep's Ubisoft.
Okay.
I think you're thinking of the Criterion Extreme Sports game that they were making.
Yeah, that didn't exist.
That never happened. That was weird. EA's fucking weird. They're so weird.
They're on it now.
They just want everybody to be able to get baked on a Saturday afternoon. And you know what? After watching their press conferences, I don't blame them.
Yeah. All right. So that's Saturday. That's all that's on Saturday, which okay. I'm still shocked that there's stuff on E3 the Saturday before.
That's crazy.
Then you go to Sunday, and there are 3 press conferences on Sunday. Oh my God!
Sunday is the new Monday.
Sunday is the new Monday. If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah. It's just this constant like race to who can get there first.
Yeah.
At this point, like next year probably Sunday for. I mean, maybe Sunday for PlayStation. Maybe they're like, we gotta do Sunday thing.
Maybe. So yeah, Microsoft is first up on Sunday. They're at 2 p.m. Pacific, and this is probably the biggest one of the press conferences because it's Scorpio. Like, it's new console. Maybe it's not a super exciting new console like with the Nintendo Switch when they had their big old fancy event early in the year, but it's what they're trumping up as not a next generation, but might as well be if they are actually saying they're going to pull off 4K gaming and all the stuff that they say the Scorpio is going to do. So right off the bat, let's let you guys weigh in on something that's completely pointless and doesn't really matter. What do you think it's going to be called?
I don't know. Xbox One, please buy. I don't know at this point. Like, I don't know. Scorpio is fine, but it's definitely not the name. You know,
I mean, I'm thinking something like Xbox One Deluxe or Elite. Did they have an Xbox One Elite? I don't even know.
Yeah, they had the Elite. That was when they put out the controller, the Elite controller. They put out like an Elite bundle. But hey, maybe they just say this is the Elite because at this point those Elite bundles are pretty few and far between unless you're like online. Yeah. Maybe they just use that branding. And it's not bad branding. It's very good branding for what they're trying to do. But
I think I saw somewhere that they trademarked like an S logo or something like that. So maybe they are keeping Scorpio. I don't know. I mean, I doubt Scorpio, but maybe something with an S. I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Xbox One Superior.
They're just going to call it the Xbox S. Just Xbox S. You got that one.
They might do that. Xbox One Elite S or something like that.
Yeah,
maybe.
Oh, God.
I mean,
I heard some people throw Xbox Prime. I think that's pretty okay. It's kind of like one's a prime number, right? So Prime, like, I don't know.
I wonder if that. I wonder what kind of legal stuff they hit though with calling it Prime
with Amazon.
Yeah, I wonder what kind of. I mean, fucking Bethesda sued over the use of the word "prey" in the title, so like, you know, you can sue for fucking anything. I don't know. Where do you guys think this thing gets shown? Do you think they show it like right at the front? It's just the thing they're like, we're gonna start with this thing. And
I think they do actually. Yeah, I think they come out right out the gate showing this is a Scorpio, blah blah blah. Like, they roll into, look at this game. This is why this game is better on Scorpio. This is why this game, and then you have to wait until the very end to hear like release date, pricing, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's exactly
what you guys think it's going to cost.
I'm expecting 400 to 500. I would really think I think like if they want to make this thing worth it to
They gotta
people, they have to go like 300, 350. I think 350 is like the price. I don't know how. Like I don't know. The problem is like the Microsoft problem they've been having, which is like, why do I want to buy anything with Microsoft branding? Because at this point, all my friends are playing on PlayStation, right? So why would I want to buy something like that? So if you can undercut Sony where they're at with the Pro, say, hey, we have this thing at 350. It does full 4K. It does full 4K with that big asterisk of same deal with PlayStation Pro. It's not required for any games to run things at 4K. They're being, it sounds like, very lenient with, you don't have to put it in there. You don't have to do that. So it sounds like no matter what the power is, it really could be like a pro situation.
Do we know if the PS Pro is getting a price cut? Because I know I saw that the other I guess the regular PS4 or whatever is getting a price cut to
it's
$49.
Yeah, it's $250. I would expect a price cut. It doesn't, as somebody who owns a Pro, like it doesn't make sense to have that much of a price increase at this point. So I would totally expect PlayStation to be like, hey, we're cutting our price to some amount on both.
Yeah, the PlayStation Pro Slim is going to be $350.
Yeah.
We're getting ahead of her. We're getting it. No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. That's a joke, Gus. We're getting ahead of ourselves though. Yeah, no, I'm afraid that it is going to be 500, and they are going to be talking about how it is true 4K gaming, something that the PlayStation Pro cannot do, and that it's going to like they're going to put too many eggs in that basket, and that's going to drop the price up. But I really hope that they don't actually do that, because
I don't think that it matters to people the way that they believe that it matters to people. If they put it at the price, like it doesn't matter to most people. Don't have 4K displays at this point. Like they will, sure, within the next few years that will start getting brought more into the mainstream, but like it doesn't matter to a lot of people if you have 4K. So
I think
what's
what
the
they need
goddamn
to do,
point?
I think they need to they need to change the conversation, because a lot of the conversation that's been going on this generation is the PlayStation is the slightly stronger, maybe more than that, console. And so if you want the best running version of game X, you should get it on the PlayStation 4. And if they can change that conversation, maybe not even necessarily with 4K, but just like, hey, ours is going to be the better, even if it's just, 1080p, you're going to get 60 frames per second. You're going to get HDR. I mean, whatever. Even if it's just that, it's like, yeah, you're going to get 60 frames per second on these games, and they're going to run great, and they're going to have faster load times. Like if they're going to kind of get that stuff into like the mindset, like they got to try to work against the years of people thinking that the PlayStation is the superior product, because it is, and try to get people back towards the Xbox for their third-party releases, for their friends lists, for that type of stuff. And that's, I feel the same way with the Pro. Like I feel like they need to stop talking so much about 4K and start talking about what does this do for people that don't have 4K TVs? Because honestly, I'm probably like 2 or 3 years away from needing to buy a 4K TV. Like my TV's great. Like it's fine. I don't need a 4K TV. Don't need to purchase a TV anytime soon. So give me a reason to want a Scorpio. Give me a reason to want a PlayStation 4 Pro if I don't have a 4K TV. And so far, at least with Sony's version, there's been no incentive to me whatsoever for even look at it. So
there's been like a couple of instances where like it'll load a little bit faster, but even that is so minimal. Like I know there's a difference between Tekken 7, like the PS4 Pro version, and the just PS4 version, like has a couple seconds different load time. But like, I mean, if you really wanted to make the case of like, here's why you should buy a Scorpio, put Tekken 7 up there running on the fucking Xbox One, which takes like 30 seconds to load a match, and then be like, hey, this thing only takes 15 or 10 seconds. Like show there being like some kind of actual cut, some reason that you would want to buy it. I mean, I'm in the position right now where I just bought a new computer. I'm not buying the Scorpio. It's not gonna fucking happen. So like, unless you can really sell it super hard to me, like, yeah, there's gonna be all this shit and it's only gonna be on it's only gonna be on Xbox. But even that, at this point, they're putting everything onto the PC too. So what's the point? Yeah, I really wonder what this thing ends up looking like. I think Sunday, yeah, I think they open it up. I think they show everything on the Scorpio. I think they showed all running on the Scorpio. I think they do not show a single thing running on the Xbox One S, which is super shitty if you own an Xbox One S. Like, that's super shitty. But like, you know, it's you know, you're basically just you're putting your graphics settings to medium instead of very high, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So it's
hey, you know what? I do that on my PC right now because my PC is a couple years old and it still looks great.
yeah, I mean, yeah, like I don't think it's gonna be super noticeable for people. I think like there are definitely some instances where it's like, yep, I can totally tell that this is running in like 720p, whereas like on PlayStation it's running at like 900p. Like there are totally those cases, but again, it doesn't matter if there's fucking nothing, and I don't know what they show at this conference because we know we're not getting Scalebound anymore.
Yeah.
So it's way too early for Crackdown. Or not Crackdown, it's way too early for Gears. Probably going to see Crackdown.
Crackdown 3 will probably make a surprise reappearance,
Crackdown
I guess.
3. I mean, it's Crackdown 3 is either one of two things. Either it's been in hiding and it's going to come out this fall, or Crackdown's like delayed to like 2019 or maybe never comes out. Like,
yeah, totally. I totally. They've just started figuring out how to get that cloud technology.
I mean, there's always going to be a Forza. There's a Forza every single year, so we're up to the next.
Forza,
what's the next one?
Forza Horizon. Forza Motorsport 7.
7?
It's 7. Yes.
Yeah.
And it
makes a high number for a racing game.
It makes really good sense because like
Jesus,
you show that off with the Scorpio because those guys who make those Forza games know how to fucking get the most out of those Xboxes.
Yeah.
Like,
they are pretty.
Like I know you've Kyle, you've said before, like you just think like, oh, they just show off racing games because it's easy, but it's like those guys know that hardware so fucking much that it is incredible every time. Like I still think like Horizon 3 was like one of the best looking games last year. It was on the fucking Xbox, so they know how to push that technology. So totally, they're gonna show that thing off. They even like on the PC, they put out like Apex, which was their big just, hey, you can play this game for free, but it's just a tech demo of Forza Horizon 6. So they're totally showing that thing off. They've said that they're not going to have Halo there, but it's probably going to make a sneaky appearance. Yeah, the guys at 343 said they're not going to be showing off this year.
Wow.
Which totally means that they're going to have like, you know, probably a thing at the end, like a little teaser at the end.
Yeah, they have to have a teaser for Halo. Teaser for
what's
Halo.
the point where Halo 6 would be next year, right? Is that 3 years from Halo 5?
Halo 6, yeah, probably next year. Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, they should at least. I mean, I guess they don't have to call it anything because they'll probably just call it Halo 6. But
yeah,
maybe something.
So
God, I don't remember anything. I don't remember Halo 5 much. Man,
that you're lucky. Let's see.
There's Sea of Thieves. They're the rare thing that they've been working on, which from how weird it kind of looks, the things that I've heard people talk about who have played it seems like it's actually kind of fun. I could see that kind of being one of those things where maybe it's like a, what do they call it? The Xbox early access or
Yeah, the game
call it?
previews or something like that.
Previews.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Previews.
I think it's game preview. Yeah. Where like it's one of those things where it's like maybe that's a surprise where they go like, hey, this game's not done yet, but this is available on game preview next week or available tomorrow or something like that.
Yeah.
Like I could see something like that either with like Sea of Thieves or something along those lines, dropping out of there. Like that seems like that kind of like multiplayer kind of like get your friends to do stuff. I hope that they're not trying to push that as like a $60 game or something like that. I feel like a game preview, like $20, $30 price point for something that looks like that would be a lot more practical for Sea of Thieves.
I predict that they're probably going to have some sort of game preview for that Battlegrounds game. That game's been getting pretty popular on PC.
Player
and I feel
unknowns.
like
I think it's way too early for them to put it out. I think it's way too early for them to be worrying
so?
about a console version. Yeah, because like they're still. I mean, we talked about it on the last episode. Like that game is, they're still fixing a lot of. They're still tweaking a lot of things on the PC version, and it's still.
I could see that. Not something like I was talking about where it's just like it's available right now, but I could see them going like.
I feel like they're going to talk about
Hey,
it.
I think they're gonna have a
like this is like
announce a partnership thing, but
yeah, I would probably say that either Sony or Microsoft would probably create some, like they would see the success that had on PC and go, we have to get that on our platform, even if it is October or if it's next March or something like that. For how hot that game is, there would be the time to try to announce something like that.
They themselves have said like they are going to be looking into doing console stuff in the future, but from the sounds of it, they want to get this version of the game right, which I think is super admirable in the early access world.
Yeah,
especially with how good that game is. It's fucking ridiculously good. So
Microsoft does also really like backing up Dunk from some money onto people's doors to get the game exclusive to their console.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a Microsoft move, and I wouldn't be surprised at all if they at least mention it.
So they also what's his name? Guy from Microsoft. I can't remember who basically a guy from Microsoft said Spencer. I think it was Phil Spencer.
Yeah.
Said, this thing is going to run longer than 90 minutes. It's going to be a long press conference. So
cool.
What are they packing it with? I mean,
fucking no. I don't know. They already did
there
all
could
that
be VR in there.
Yeah, they've got the VR thing.
There could be some type of VR. I don't know what that would be. I don't know how much people are gonna get excited for VR, but that could be part of it. They do have their new streaming service, the Mixer.
Oh, Mixer!
That just got rebranded from Beam. That's something that that I would imagine if you're gonna try to push that on any stage, E3 is probably a good one to push on gamers. Something like to try to. I don't know why people out there trying to compete with Twitch and YouTube streaming, but. Hey, whatever.
Yeah.
So probably gonna see Cuphead. God, I really fucking hope it is just like and by the way, it's available right now. Like I don't think it's going to be, but I would love it if it actually fucking finally showed up because I'm like convinced that like, some point down the line in 10 fucking years that game is finally gonna come out. They also have like Tacoma, Below, State of Decay 2, which is happening at some point, supposedly. Maybe they show off Fortnite there, because it just started showing up on digital retailers.
Oh, that's true.
You bought, so maybe they show something there.
I don't know, man. I just feel like besides Scorpio, like I don't know what they're gonna do to try and get the attention for E3. I mean,
because if it's not, I mean, their three main franchises are Forza. Forza's obviously going to be there. Halo's in an off year. Gears is even more in an off year.
Yeah.
So like, unless they're going to introduce some crazy new IP out of nowhere, or they're going to try to shove Crackdown as another huge game. Which I'm all for Crackdown being awesome, but it's been a long time, and Crackdown 2 was not great. So
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while though between the two of them, so.
It's been a minute. Been a hot minute.
And supposedly there's also that whole new Lara Croft Shadows of the Tomb Raider thing. I fucking hope to God that game isn't an exclusive, because that is the stupidest bullshit ever that they did that with the last one.
Is this like a sequel to Rise of the Tomb Raider?
Yeah. So
Really?
it was like it was
yeah,
it was a thing where like somebody caught an image on the way to work with like just like a PowerPoint presentation of a thing called Shadow of the Tomb Raider. And
Yeah, well, if that's going to be
they-
anywhere, it's probably going to be at Microsoft.
God, that's so stupid, because then we're going to be looking at fucking Crystal Dynamics getting shut down too. God, I fucking hate Square. I hate them so much. They're the worst. They're the fucking
Yeah.
worst. Yeah, I don't know. It's so
pretty
up in
great.
the air that I'm like excited to see what they do, because if they're saying, "Hey, we're gonna run this thing super long," and presumably they did that whole info dump. God, I hope they did that whole info dump with Digital Foundry, so that they could just be like, the tech is just out there. It's a known thing at this point.
Yeah.
Now we're just gonna show you what it looks
This is
like.
what. Yeah. This all that stuff we said. This is what it actually means.
Yep.
Yeah. That would be nice if they just were as simple as that.
Yeah.
Who knows if that's actually. So yeah, so that's the first show on Sunday. There are two more on Sunday. One of the ones that's becoming like the strongest show at E3 is going to be Bethesda, which is at the early hour of 9 p.m. Pacific.
9 p.m.
So
Pacific,
that's-
really? Jesus.
Yeah, so that kind of sucks for anyone that's not Pacific time. You know,
Yeah, it
this goes
sure does. It
more
sure
proving to the
does.
point how good the Pacific time actually is. So Bethesda
Right?
Like, you
put
can't
out,
enjoy things at a reasonable hour. Also, if I was in the Pacific, like whatever, if I was over there, that's fucking time for Twin Peaks. So no, I wouldn't. It's the worst time.
so Bethesda-
imaginable.
I don't know. Was it the E3 invites or whatever? They put out an image of like a Bethesda Disneyland looking thing with like, here's a Doom area and here's a Prey area, and then there's two areas in that thing that are just walled off under construction areas, and that would hint at they're going to be two new things coming, like a new IP or bringing back an old thing or something along those lines.
Is it time for a
Bethesda's
new
the ones
Elder Scrolls at this point? It's been a hot minute since Elder Scrolls Skyrim.
I'm sure.
believe.
I feel like that's
That the rumor.
I
The
feel like that's a
rumor
little
is
fast.
that like. The rumor is that that's totally a thing that's gonna get.
It has to be, right? Okay.
Yeah, and it's. I mean, like you say, it's not been too long. That fucking game came out in 2012. Like, this is exactly the time they would put it out.
Jesus. Wow.
no, but
okay.
isn't that generally the same? Like a lot of the same team that works on the Fallout games too, or am I?
I mean, yeah, but also like I would think at this point they're big enough that they would probably have like a split team sort of deal going on.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, they use the same fucking engine, so like it's drag
I
and
would-
drop. It's just that simple, right? Game development's
Having-
easy.
Having
Easy
played
bullshit.
Fallout 4 and seeing the jankiness that's still in there, I would actually hope that they wouldn't be using the same engine anymore, and maybe have the jump from like what Skyrim was when they jumped from the Fallout 3 Oblivion engine to the Skyrim engine. Yeah,
You would
that
hope
would
that.
be cool.
You would also
I
hope
don't know.
that Bethesda doesn't just like big old piles of money from people who just buy their games. But here we are. No, that's totally the rumor that's the big thing they're going to be showing off. It really wouldn't be a huge surprise, I think, at this point. Like if they're like, yeah, by the way, we got this thing. If they're saying two
Yeah.
new things, I don't know. Like, do we finally get the sequel to Brink? I think so. I think this is the time.
Oh God.
Brink 2.
Brink 2 and Rage 2. Let's go.
Jesus.
No, okay. You know what? I would take a Rage 2. I thought Rage was
Rage
was
was fine.
all right.
Rage was fine.
I like the way that game ends is really really bad, but I liked a lot of what Rage was doing. I don't know what else it would be. I was trying to think of what was that game that they put out where it was like it was a co-op all the way through, and one was like a lady who was an archer and the guy who was like a melee fighter. Like Hunted Demon's Forge or something. Something like that. I don't remember what it was.
Jesus.
I don't know why that came into my mind all of a sudden. Yeah, I mean, so there's the Fallout VR. Everyone's saying that's supposed to come this fall. So they'll probably talk about that a little bit. Has there been? I mean, they've kind of exhausted everything that was the DLC for Fallout at this point. Or is there still some stuff left in that season pass? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention.
No, it's been done. It's been done for a while. So
okay, like they put out their last bit of content.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised to see some talk about like continued support for Doom. Maybe like some DLC story stuff. Dishonored 2 would be cool.
I'd be cool with like a Doom.
Maybe Prey.
Pack.
Oh,
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean the Dishonored DLC for the first game was both of those packs were really solid. So it'd be cool to see if they could do something like that for Dishonored 2 because I really like Dishonored 2. I actually heard this. I'm kind of looking at some stuff. There was something about a leak of a Wolfenstein game called Wolfenstein: The New Colossus.
Yep.
Cool.
A new Wolfenstein game makes sense.
I loved that Wolfenstein: The New Order. That game was awesome. I would be all over a sequel to that. Because it was real good, real good.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they would bring back. I mean, we'll probably get some more about Quake Champions.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that thing's out. That thing's out. So.
Yeah, but it's in open beta, right?
But I mean, that's like I think like they at this point it's the exposure has been had. You probably get like, hey, by the way, we're adding in whatever, but I don't think like they do much more for it. God, I hope they don't do much for it. Did that Fallout card game or not Fallout? That Elder Scrolls card game ever come out?
I have no idea.
Until you said those words, I completely forgot that was a thing. Yeah, so they'll probably talk about that. Hey, maybe that'll be their like Fallout shelter. Like this is available right now. It could be the Fallout card game.
Great.
Great. Get those headlines.
What was that thing called?
Or not Fallout. Elder Scrolls. Elder Scrolls. I don't know. It can't be Elder Scrolls Champions. Elder Scrolls Legends. That sounds more right. I don't know.
This thing has been out apparently.
Is it out? No way.
Apparently it's out. It's a free-to-play Steam game that came out May 31st. That's weird.
Oh, like a week ago? Okay.
Yeah, like a week ago.
Who knew?
Okay.
Not us. None of us knew. None of us knew that. Okay.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I mean Bethesda, like I was saying, they've done it for 2 years now, and both of those years had really solid, interesting showings, like showing off good stuff. Mm-hmm. Although none of us would have quite known, what to expect from like when they first showed off Doom and stuff like that. No one knew how good that game was actually going to be when it came out.
Yeah, that's true.
And last year was good, but maybe not great. But this is always the one where it's like they kind of feel like we just got all of the Bethesda games except for I guess an Elder Scrolls. I keep seeing stuff about how they added Morrowind to Elder Scrolls Online, and that really makes me upset because I don't want to play Elder Scrolls Online, but damn it, is Morrowind a great game?
Then don't.
Then don't.
I'm not gonna, but I really like Morrowind, and I start seeing pictures of like the Stilt Striders and the Ashlands, and it makes me all nostalgic for that Morrowind game.
Guys, I got my really far out prediction for Bethesda.
Okay, let's hear it.
Okay.
I like it.
So you know Elder Scrolls 5, right?
Yeah.
Skyrim it's called.
Yep.
What if
good.
you put that game onto the Nintendo Switch?
No, can't be done.
because they haven't announced anything for the Switch at all whatsoever. They've been adamant that they haven't actually announced anything for the Switch.
No, they did at the Switch event. That was one of the things that was confirmed, wasn't it? I could have swore it was.
Don't think it actually was. I don't think they've ever confirmed it.
Oh.
They showed that shit, and I don't think they ever confirmed it.
I still feel like if you look up just type in image search Nintendo Switch, like I want to say in like the first page you would probably see a picture of the Switch with Skyrim on it. Like
totally, it was there. It was a thing that got showed, but they're like, nah, like no.
I feel like there was something that would be cool. You know, I probably wouldn't get it, but the idea of like portable.
It did get
cool.
confirmed. Okay.
I could have swore they did
at the event. Yes. Fuck another one of my shitty jokes failed. Another one. And another one. Anyways, Devolver Digital.
If we're gonna make wild predictions, they're gonna do an HD remake of Morrowind in the Skyrim engine. Yeah, do it. Bring it on. Let's do it. It's not gonna happen. Yeah. So that's Bethesda. I don't know how long Bethesda's gonna be because Devolver Digital is an hour after that at 10 p.m. Pacific. You thought 9 p.m. Pacific was late. Why is Devolver Digital having a press conference, guys?
So, number one, they're
the big joke.
They're the biggest. They're like one of the biggest independent games publishers. Also,
no.
They seem
do not take that as a negative thing. Devolver Digital puts out great stuff. It just seems really weird.
They put out fantastic fucking games, but it's super weird. My guess is so that they can get people really drunk. If I just had to guess, that's the sort of shit. Like they've done these weird events for the past few years where they're like, hey, we've just got a food truck. Like that's just the thing we're doing this year. We've got a food truck.
Here's some burritos.
That's exactly what they've done. So I just get this feeling that they're like, yeah, fuck it, we're just gonna ply people with liquor. You guys want to see Bethesda? Or you want to see some of our fucking games while you're drunk as shit?
So I know that I deal with Devolver Digital a lot, but I'm forgetting things in my old age. What franchises are they?
Serious Sam
known for?
Serious Sam's the big
Serious
one.
Sam.
Got Crow Team.
I mean,
Shadow Warrior.
Hotline Miami.
Yeah, there you go.
Hotline Miami.
Yeah, Hotline.
Pretty huge.
Hotline Miami.
Like there's
Broforce, Talos Principle, Gungeon came from them. The weird penis fighting game, Genital Jousting, that came from them. They've done a lot of stuff, and every year they've just been this montage thing in the middle of the Sony press conference. So yeah do it. Just do it. Just do your own thing. And they've got enough games in the pipeline at this point that it probably makes sense for them to be like, hey, we want to have a kind of larger place to show this stuff off. We also really want to get people drunk and have them having a good time because those guys have always seemed like they are super cool.
So are they going to redeem themselves, Adam, with Hotline Miami 3?
I don't think that. I mean,
the right number all along.
I think at this point, I don't even think that the guys who made Hotline Miami would do another Hotline Miami game because they kind of fucking end that game in a point where it doesn't make sense that they would ever do another one of those games. Yeah, there's just okay. So, spoilers for Hotline Miami 2, but fucking nukes start going off at the end of that game. There's just straight up nuclear war happening at the end of it.
Okay.
So
I like it.
I didn't, but that's cool.
I believe that won the 2015 most disappointing game award.
Oh yeah.
If not, it was a runner-up. I don't remember.
It was a runner-up. I don't know that it was
up there.
Winner because I think that was also the year of Star Fox. But yeah. So they've got a Serious Sam thing that's being worked on right now. Probably also Serious Sam 4. Because
I'm sure they got a bunch of games that are on the
Absolver is one they've been showing off for a while now. It's like been at like every fucking event. Is like PAX has got like ads all around for it. So yeah, they'll be showing stuff off for that. I would totally be cool if they're like, hey, yeah, also Serious Sam 4 is like being proper announced. Also, maybe we're doing Talos Principle 2. They just put out Shadow Warrior 2 on the console, so like it's way too early for another one of those. I think did they publish Hard Reset? I feel like they might have.
I don't know. I feel like they put out so much stuff.
They do.
I don't know.
Yeah. So like that. There's plenty of shit. It's super weird for just like this independent publisher to be putting their stuff out like this, but yeah,
more power to them.
Yeah.
I feel like this is probably going to be like your favorite conference of the whole show.
I'm gonna be sleeping, dude. Like I'm not staying up for
when you watch it. I know you're going to see the replay.
I mean,
yeah.
I'll probably just watch the trailers if I'm being honest. Like unless there's like some crazy shit where they're like, yeah, we're actually putting Fork Parker out there. And I'll be like, fuck yes, we finally get the unmasking. But like no, I like the stuff that those guys make. They make really good shit. Most of the time. There are some notable exceptions, but a lot of the time they put out really good games. And yeah. They're one of the companies I think like totally fucking do it. Just show off all your shit. And if you got that much that's going on that you feel that you need to do this, yeah, do it.
Yeah. So okay, well that's Sunday. So now we're on to Monday. Usually Microsoft would be right off in the bat on Monday, but as talked about, Microsoft has decided to go on Sunday, which means you get Monday morning off. Just relax, sleep in. It's no big deal.
Go to work. Like a normal day.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Call that sick.
I get out of work and then immediately go into Ubisoft.
No, Ubisoft.
Oh god, is Ubisoft still doing press conferences? Jesus.
They are.
I mean, look,
they fired Aisha Taylor.
I'll say Aisha Taylor used to hold it down at least.
Yeah, they fired Aisha Taylor. She's out.
Well,
she's not doing this year's E3.
I don't know. Was it actually fired, or is it just like she's just not doing it this?
She's not doing it. I mean, you could take that either way, but they want to have the experience of the developers out there, which is probably going to be a whole lot of dudes. And I heard the term that they traded Aisha Taylor for just a bunch of beards. So that's probably exactly what's going to happen.
I think we need to bring back Mr. Caffeine, if we're going to be perfectly honest. I mean, that was probably one of the more entertaining.
You say the word entertaining.
Yes, I didn't say
like
good.
Okay.
I want to make sure that we're not. I want to make sure that we're in agreement with what we mean there. It was definitely a thing I remember.
Yeah, it was memorable, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Far Cry 5.
Oh yeah, Far Cry.
Totally.
That game's going to be something.
That game is the most interested I've been in a Far Cry game in like probably since 3. You know, I'm totally digging the idea. As somebody who grew up in a very religious small town, I am totally on board with going out and killing religious cult member in video games. Like I'm totally cool with that. Great, let's fucking do it. Let's go.
I like the idea of it not being set in some random foreign country with a dictator. Like just like this Montana. Like just shit. Like this Montana, you guys. God,
it's just Montana. It's just fucking Montana. That's it. That's totally cool. It sounds like from what those guys have said that it just kind of happened to be a lucky accident. I say lucky accident. It just so happened that this game came out at this point in time. So that's interesting. I guess they've been working on this idea since Far Cry 3.
Wow. So not that much wildlife in this one, huh? Except cows and
bears.
whatever else is in
You
Montana.
got bears, you got dogs, you got wild dogs. But like,
Yeah, there's like mountain lions and stuff like that. I'm sure in Colorado, in Montana. I mean,
Yeah.
cougars or something. I mean, look at. I played Red Dead Redemption. There was cougars and stuff. I know that was like
Yeah.
Texas, but whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, it just confused the entire like western half of the country at a certain point. Red Dead did, so fuck it, just throw them all in there.
or within the first half an hour, it's going to be like, man, the local zoo, like all the animals got free. There's tigers loose. There's man, it's crazy.
Maybe they're going to pull something
how
like
that
that.
happened. It's crazy.
We got
how
somehow we got a
all the
woolly
animals-
mammoth, and
There's
somehow
a
we got a
T-Rex in here.
yeah, we got a woolly mammoth in this one that we totally didn't just have left over. The point was the point again. Bombcast, they brought it up this week that like they've totally had animal companions before in those games. They've totally had recruitment in these games. So like the big thing they have to go off of is that setting. But goddamn, that's an interesting setting. That's a hell of a way to come
It's
out.
certainly an interesting premise for a video game. It just kind of
Yeah.
throws me off that it's a Far Cry game. Like that's, I don't know. I feel like maybe they could have started like a new IP or something, but they decided to
Like
put that Far Cry on there.
People like Far Cry a whole lot.
Do they? Do they though?
my hope is that they would go a little bit more towards like, and they're not going to because nobody liked it except for like me and 3 other people. But I would hope they would go like a little bit more towards Far Cry 2, like do.
Oh, I like
shit
Far Cry
like,
too.
Yeah, like Far Cry 2 is like super interesting as a game, and I think like it gets a lot of shit now because there are some flawed mechanics in it. But it's still really like a weird premise. Like they just took Heart of Darkness and made it a video game. But then like also added in these whole other layers of like keeping yourself healthy. They're not going to do that. They're definitely not going to do that. They learned their lesson that just didn't sell well. But I would hope that they kind of mix up the gameplay a bit more as well.
Yeah, I mean, look at I really liked Far Cry 3. Far Cry 4 was great. Far Cry Primal was good.
It's okay.
Like I think I still enjoyed it, but like all 3 of those games are very similar games. So I would hope that there's some type of evolution or progression in that kind of genre. But even if it's not, like I'll probably still enjoy it. I want them to do a little bit more. Especially with the kind of open world games we've gotten with like Zelda and Horizon lately, there's people who are doing different interesting things in that genre that Far Cry, if it is like the same type of thing, could kind of be slightly left behind or feel a little old.
Yeah.
I mean, there's Assassin's Creed game coming out.
Yeah.
Origins.
Is that what is it? I was trying to think what's it called? Is it called Assassin's Creed Origins?
Yep. Yes.
Origins.
Yeah, there's been
that's a terrible name. Change that. We gotta go back to the drawing board. It's terrible.
So like they are setting this game in like ancient Egypt. It's like basically they have just fully fucking reset the clock on it. I hope it is good. I hope that time off gave them a chance to really work on this game. At the same point.
So have they really said a whole lot? Because they haven't even confirmed that, right?
They haven't confirmed any part of it.
Yeah, like
this is
the
all
screenshots
coming from
look like Egypt, but
this is all coming from like a Target like pre-order card. Just straight up has got Assassin's Creed Origins, and then it's got the guy and a bunch of pyramids in the background. So probably Egypt. Everything we know about it is total speculative. It's similar to Mario and Rabbids. Like we basically have confirmation at this point. We just kind of need to actually see something for it. Oh,
that's right. Yeah. Well, who do you think shows that? Is that Nintendo that shows that game, or is that Ubisoft that shows that?
I think Ubisoft. Nintendo's is only a half an hour this year, so whatever they've got, they got to get their shit in quick.
Nintendo's so weird, but
they spent 10 minutes like a day ago showing off Pokemon games we've already played. So
I was super annoyed by that because they were like, "Oh, we're gonna have this Pokemon press conference, cool." And then it's like it's 8 minutes long, and I was like, "That's not good at all," because that's not nearly long enough to say, "Hey, we're putting Pokemon on the Switch," because you know what? They're not putting Pokemon on the Switch.
Nope, totally.
Well-
That's not going to be a thing that happens. They expect you. They expect you to play Pokemon on your 3DS again this year.
Oh, that's so. I mean, I guess technically Pokemon's going to be on the Switch because Pokken Tournament, but no.
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. Like, what else is Ubisoft going on? Are they going to make another the Club 2 is coming back?
They did. They totally have announced that the Club 2 is happening.
Oh, did they? I
Yeah,
totally
totally.
made that up.
Your sarcastic
No idea.
bullshit though was actually true.
You just pulled that out. Pulled that out of nowhere.
Yes, they totally announced that the Crew 2 is happening. I don't know what it's.
Oh, I said the Club. I meant the Crew. You knew what I meant. Okay.
The
I didn't-
Crew, the Club.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
okay.
I
The
know what
Club-
you meant. The card
The
game.
Club was the arcade shooter for the PS3, where it's like you have to
Oh!
run through the levels.
That
The
game looked
Crew-
cooler.
Yeah, that it really did. It was cooler. The Crew was the Ubisoft racing thing. Yeah, they're totally putting out another one of those.
Okay, cool.
Do we
Yeah.
do we feel like there's going to be a sequel to The Division? You think they're still going to go with that franchise?
Ugh.
It's
what do they
totally
do
made
with
them
The
enough money
Division?
at this point. Have they finished putting out the DLC for that game though?
I feel like they have.
I think they put out some DLC earlier in the year. They got to be done with that.
I
wonder like because I know that the season pass like it has such a weird because they took that time off between I think it was like the first expansion and maybe the second one, whereas like we have to fix this game. Like this game is broken. We have got to fix it. And you know,
Yeah, I know they
actually
messed around with the end game a lot, but I don't know exactly where they actually like ended on the story.
So I'm actually on Uplay right now, and it actually doesn't look like they've put out the last DLC. It looks like it's still there. Because like if you look at the descriptions between like Underground and then this Last Stand one, like Last Stand has like no information on it, whereas like the other DLCs are like fully fleshed out. Here's a trailer for it. So maybe that's their thing with the Division.
So the last one didn't come out yet?
I don't think so.
I could have swore that came out earlier in the year. All right.
I mean, I could be totally wrong on it. But
So
from
have
what I'm
not
seeing
only
on
any of the
Uplay,
DLC, not only any of the DLC in that game, that story mode ends on a cliffhanger where like the guy like gets away with it essentially, like the main antagonist in that game. Like you go through, I remember there's like a final mission where you go watch like a hollow recording of the guy like leaving his safe house and like talking to you, knowing that you're going to track him to this place, and then he's in the wind. And I don't know if they've revisited that into the DLC because I didn't play it, but I doubt they did.
yeah. Okay,
I feel like they wouldn't leave that.
It is actually out. Just Uplay does nothing to describe their DLCs, is what I'm finding out. It actually didn't come out this year. They just don't. They just didn't like have a trailer or like any actual in-game art for it. It was all concept art. Maybe I know there are people who play that game still kind of compulsively. I have a friend of mine who like it's pretty much a safe bet that that's the only fucking thing that he's playing any given point on PlayStation, which is really depressing. 'Cause that game is just kind of okay.
I mean, I really liked it when it came out. I mean, if everybody like if you guys pick it up, like I for sure will pick it up because I had fun playing through the campaign with Cal and Robbie.
It's okay. Like it's very much the sort of thing, but it also made them a bunch of money. Like it was like their big thing was like this is our biggest IP. Which every time they have a new IP, they're like it's the biggest IP. I would expect they show off more Ghostlands or Wildlands, Ghost Recon stuff, because they're saying that is again big asterisk, but that is like the biggest game of the year, the biggest selling game of the year at this point.
By Ubisoft.
Is it really?
Yeah, so
man.
So with a big asterisk of on like specific consoles without taking into account downloadable stuff, like downloadable copies of these games, they were like, yeah, it's the biggest game that's been released this year, which is fucking crazy because I don't know anybody who's played that game.
No.
Insane. That's insane.
Wow.
I see some random friends playing it, but I didn't know that supposedly it was that big. I don't know. It's weird. Oh
Yeah.
We have
And-
a prediction in the chat room for Splinter Cell.
Oh,
I'm
would
totally
love
cool with the new
Cell to
Splinter
come
Cell.
back.
It's
The,
been a hot
um,
minute since we got Splinter Cell 5.
Which was the
it
last one?
Splinter Cell 5?
Was Blacklist or Conviction the last one? I get the names mixed
I
up.
think
Blacklist.
Blacklist.
Yeah.
Blacklist. I thoroughly enjoyed that game.
That was a good game.
it
That was
a
a
lot
good
of
damn
fun.
game. Yeah.
Those two most recent Conviction and Blacklist, whichever order they're in, both those games were super cool, and I really liked what they did with those games as far as like the style that they went with. I did kind of like the first one where it was more like Sam Fisher is not associated with anything, so he's got to just use stuff. Like he's got a shard of glass, and that's what he's used to look under doors. And I appreciated that kind of aesthetic that they were going with, although they ditched that like halfway through the game, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are just cool games. Like I would definitely love to see something like that come back.
I think that's a solid prediction. I think that's there's a good chance that we're going to see something with Splinter Cell.
The other one is, do we see Beyond Good and Evil 2? I mean, probably not. I feel like
I
every
don't
year
feel
we're
it.
like asking that question, but I don't think we do. I think they've said like we're waiting for the right time to show it off, which means that it's not going to be anytime soon.
When was the
Um,
original supposed reveal for that? Wasn't that like 8 years ago at this point?
It
I
was
feel
a
like it
very
was 8
Yeah, I
years
was-
ago.
I was gonna say 2009 sounded about right, but that might even be too
I
recent.
think
if
that's
feel
too
like that.
recent. I want to say 2008.
So they could have
Oh,
totally
God.
remade that game about 3 times by now. Jesus.
Yeah, like there was supposed concept footage that like got leaked a few years ago. Let's see. It was unveiled at
2008.
Movie Days
Wow.
2008. Yep.
Jesus, that's a freaking decade. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's close to being a decade. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, the thing is, like, they've also got Michelle Ancel, who's like working on a bunch of different stuff at this point. Like, I think he's working like on some weird like co-project between Ubisoft and another company. So, like, what is that game? What is that game even at this point?
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know. The one, my one thing that I really do hope we're getting new Rabbids. I really want another Rayman 2D game. I really would love that.
Yeah,
Those
it's
games
been a
are
while.
So fucking good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
What was what was that last one? Rayman Legends?
Legends. Yeah,
Yeah, Rayman Legends
Yeah.
was
fantastic.
That's
yeah, it's pretty
That's
fantastic.
pretty awesome.
I think I liked Origins slightly better, but Legends was really good.
Legends was a game where it's like I like had those the button presses memorized for those music levels because I just kept playing through them because they're really good. They're so good. And they also had like a really interesting system of like, hey, if you just replay the levels, you actually do get something for replaying those levels. So
Yeah, as you're collecting lums.
yeah. So I mean, I would love it. I don't think it's gonna happen. I think at this point they have to basically pull out all the big guns because they also need to worry about not getting bought out. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, there's gonna be
that's
there's gotta be
a
something.
big concern.
Even if it's not the Division, there's always gonna be something Tom Clancy, like maybe a Rainbow Six Siege 2 at this point, something like that.
Yeah, I
although
see
although
that.
it
They've
seems
been
like that's going fairly strong, or still going pretty strong. It seems like from the kind of just general feeling I get about that game. But
they've been running. I've seen. Twitter does like, hey, here are your things that are going on, and I've seen multiple times where it's like, yeah, there's a Rainbow Six tourney going on right
Yeah.
now. And it's like, oh wow, really? Like, I guess I'm just not in that world enough. But there are still totally people who really like that game, and good on them. It seems like it's a pretty well built game. It's not my kind of game, but it seems pretty good. So maybe something. Like
That's a pretty hardcore game. From the little
Mhm.
bit that I played of it, that's a little bit too hardcore for me. People take that very seriously, and for good reason, because that's pretty solid. Ubisoft's definitely got some known quantities, but really only like the two things. So that's one that could have a decent bit of surprises in it. So Sony is later in the evening on Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific.
Mhm.
And this is going to be an interesting year for Sony, because like they're 1 year out from the PlayStation Pro, they're 1 year out from
VR.
the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
Like I feel like we're not to the point where Last of Us 2 is going to be out this year. Maybe that
No.
God of War game, maybe.
Oh yeah.
But even that
I'm
seems
sure- I'm
like that might be
sure-
a little too soon for that to come out. Maybe, I don't know. It's
I-
like, what
I'm sure-
what do they got this year?
I
they've
think,
already had a
the
killer
God of
beginning.
War thing is the thing they show off. I think that's their big thing. I think God of War is definitely the thing they go with. They
God
showed
of
that
War.
last year.
Yeah.
I feel like
And
they're gonna
then-
spend a lot of time on Destiny 2 at this conference.
Totally.
Yep.
Totally.
Yep.
That makes sense for them. Probably gonna have that zombie game they showed off last year when they were talking about the Pro.
Days Gone.
Days Gone.
That I thought that looked cool.
Oh yeah.
I really, really would like it if they started being a little bit more aggressive with the VR stuff, because there are some really good VR games out there, and they are not necessarily coming over to PlayStation for a number of reasons. Like we didn't talk about it, but like Static is a really good game from the guys who made Little Nightmares, and that's like exclusive to the PlayStation. And right now, that's like the one that is, you can't get it anywhere else.
Yeah.
The only place you can play it is there. So
I feel like they totally don't promote that as much as they should. They kind
They
of just
don't-
put that out to launch, and then they just kind of
it's the
just
fucking
let it lie.
it's the Vita again, like it's
Yeah.
the Vita again. They're doing, that same sort of thing where they go, oh, we don't know why it's not getting as many sales as we had hoped. And it's like, you don't put anything out for it. I can give you a couple guesses as to why, but yeah, I would love it. So I'm trying to remember, was it E3 or was it at their like PlayStation event where they had like the big orchestra thing presentation deal? Was that at their PlayStation event they had, or was that E3 last year?
I think that was the PlayStation experience. That
Okay.
did that.
Okay.
Where they just kind of came out and talked about games like very briefly, and it was just a lot of trailers and gameplay video. I think that was that.
Okay. Because I'm like, if that's gonna be E3, I don't want that. I want them to be like, talk to me, tell me what's up. Because at this point, last year, I feel like we were in the position of saying like, yeah, they can afford to ride it out a little bit because they have the market share, but like, are they just gonna keep doing that? What are the things that you're putting out here that are exclusive?
Yeah,
I feel like they always get in the habit of showing off trailers. Like they want to push out all these trailers, but the games don't actually come out for like 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
Did speaking of VR, did Riggs come out? Is that a thing? Is that still out there? Or
Riggs was a launch game.
Oh God! Okay, wow. All right,
Riggs was totally a launch game.
That
Yeah.
shows how much I pay attention to VR.
Yes,
So that game was garbage. Then is what I'm going to
It was
gather.
okay. It was okay. It
It's
was actually
okay.
like one of the few like ones that kind of puts you into like a moving space around you that actually kind of worked. It was definitely one of the more comfortable ones, and it was pretty good. I haven't played it recently. I will say I bought it, and I think I played a couple matches of it, and I'm like, this is okay. And that was about it. Because the idea of like playing a multiplayer game in VR sounds really cool until you realize like, oh yeah, you kind of have to keep playing these games over and over again,
Yeah.
and you have a headset on, and it can be kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right, yeah, like Riggs totally came out though. At this point, like if you were like looking at like there's always these lists of like the best PlayStation VR games are still coming. And like if you look at that list, like now everything from those lists has fucking come out. So what do you have?
Yeah.
What is there? God, I hope they do something with that.
But
I
yeah,
feel like Uncharted that lost. What's it called? The Lost whatever
Legacy.
has to be there.
Yep,
that's supposed to come out this summer, isn't it?
yeah.
I feel like it's
I feel like they
pretty
spent a
soon.
good chunk on that one.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, how much do you get into something that's like what? That's probably gonna be like $20, $30 maybe the most.
I think it's like a $40.
Is it really? Well, I mean
I think so.
that would have me more interested because that would mean it's a little bit more in depth than I think what I originally thought it was going to be. Yeah, I mean, the Sony's always usually pretty strong with third party stuff. Like that's probably where we see Call of Duty because that's where Activision has their exclusivity now. With Call of Duty maps and stuff like that.
Call of Duty. Yeah.
Ubisoft usually is going to show up with special Assassin's Creed DLC or
yeah.
Rainbow Six, whatever Division, whatever Far Cry 5, stuff like that. A lot of times you kind of get a double dip with that type of thing.
So the rumor was floating out, I think last week. We kind of skipped over Call of Duty. The rumor was out last week that they are actually putting out a standalone version of Modern Warfare.
A year too late.
Oh yeah,
Or
I did see that.
whenever it came
Yep.
out.
Yeah. So if they show that anywhere, it's going to be a PlayStation.
Yeah.
That's going to be
Yeah.
awkward. Yeah,
Hey,
maybe.
I mean,
It would have been cool if he would have done it the first time around. And y'all bitches better not be restricting me considering that I bought your fucking game with the Call of Duty code. I better just be able to play that shit on my computer. Or on my PS4. Ooh, boy.
I really don't know what Sony could surprise us with. I can't really think of any franchises that. I mean, unless they pull out something like freaking.
I think Insomniac came out and said that Spider-Man's going to be there. Their Spider-Man game is going to be there.
Yeah, because that movie's coming out this year, right?
Yeah, I guess
I
that
think
is
the movie comes out. I think the movie comes out
like in a
next
month. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like 7/7, I think.
Yeah, so totally they show that off. You said Crash Bandicoot. That Crash Bandicoot collection comes out this month. So like that's kidding. Yeah, that's the thing. Like they also just put out a Wipeout game. It's really
that'll show up in a trailer somewhere. That gameplay of Crash Bandicoot in HD. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like I said, we're not going to hear anything about, or maybe we hear a little bit, but I don't think they're going to go too much into The Last of Us 2. I bet that game is a decent ways away.
I'm sure they'll show a trailer, but
yeah,
maybe.
Extended footage. This time she plays 2 songs.
I feel like they're kind of just coasting at this point. I feel like they don't even want to bring back any like classics like Twisted Metal or like I said, Crash Bandicoot or even like a Gran
they
Turismo
did bring
or
back
something.
Twisted Metal. They brought back Twisted Metal, and it wasn't that good.
Yeah,
like
I feel like at this point,
PlayStation All Stars 2.
Oh
Yeah.
Jesus!
Yeah,
I totally forgot about that.
let's do this. Sly Cooper 5, maybe they show off maybe the counter to Crackdown is their like infamous second son.
No, third son.
Oh yeah, third son. Yeah.
Was
I forgot
wait?
about
Was this?
Infamous.
Yeah,
Was
the
this
last
one-
one.
Yeah, second.
The last
called
one's called
Second
Second
Son?
Son. Yeah.
Okay, I thought it was
Yeah.
called
Wasn't it?
First Son.
Yeah.
That game is fucking forgettable. Like, it was fine. It's just super forgettable. To me.
I like that. I like
It was
that
fine.
game.
It was fine.
It was fine. I
good
just
semi-launch game.
It was nice, especially after the first 2 Infamous games. I appreciated that they went with different abilities that you could use. The smoke and the neon and the what was it like? They give you rock at the end or something like that. I remember. I don't know.
the last.
Oh yeah,
fight,
like
you
the
get
boulder
last
stuff.
ability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would go for another Infamous game. Like I really like those games.
Yeah.
I've
Just no
platinum
Killzone.
each of those games. No Killzone.
Yeah, no Killzone.
No, I mean, if there was, I mean, I like, why would Guerrilla go back to that well after the success of Horizon?
I
Like,
know, right?
that seems unnecessary at this point. Like, I think Sony realizes they don't need the Halo killer to be successful, which is, I think, all that Killzone was intended to be from the beginning, anyways.
Yeah. Probably a Horizon Zero Dawn DLC. I think.
Yeah,
It's
a good call.
Totally do that. They could totally do that.
I don't know. I haven't beaten that game yet, so I have no context of what the end of that game looks like or what they continue from the end of that game. That's what I'm working.
Yeah, I still need to play that game too.
So, all right. Well, so yeah, that's Sony. Like I said, Sony's one of those ones that's like, I really don't know what to expect. Like, I think we kind of got an idea of what we're going to see from a lot of these press conferences, especially from Microsoft. Sony's one that's like, what are they going to do? Like I said, they're kind of a year away from their big announcements. You know, maybe they're going to hint the next PlayStation Pro, the PlayStation Pro Plus. No, that would be terrible.
There's all of that. There is all that fucking stuff that was. There were the rumors like the past few weeks of like maybe they're doing another portable thing. Maybe they're going to show off the PlayStation 5. No, please no.
Ugh, that would be bad.
I mean, a new portable would be okay because they make okay portables. They just don't ever support them. Yeah. Like I would be totally down with a new PlayStation portable thing, but I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, there's just no confidence in them supporting it. Yeah,
I gotta assume that they're probably smart enough to know that that didn't work last time. Who knows?
I mean, they came out with the Vita after the PSP, so you never know.
Yeah, but the PSP sold really well, though. Also,
yeah, the PSP was much more successful than the Vita.
But I feel like it's sold because people could just hack into it and not actually buy games.
I mean, there was definitely a part of it that was that. It was also like there were all of these ads that they pushed that were really fucking weird in retrospect. You remember the Nut ad? Like the I'm playing Nut. It's like the two squirrels are in a tree, and they're like, I'm playing Nut. And then the other one is like, I'm playing Nut Portable.
I don't remember that, but that sounds terrible.
It sounds exactly like the marketing that they did with the PSP.
Huh.
Yeah, I think like they make good hardware, like they make good portable hardware, and sometimes they're really good games for those. Like I straight up have got I've got a PSP emulator because there are some of those games you just can't fucking play any other way. Like there's no good way for me to play Luminous 2 other than on my PC, and it looks terrible on my PC because it has blown up music videos in the background. Have you ever seen like a 240p version of Hollaback Girl blown up on a 4K screen? It's fucking nightmarish.
That's wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's real bad. It's real bad, but that game is so good.
So the last press conference, which I have no idea what to expect. It's not even a press conference because they're calling that's just it's apparently it's only
Direct.
a half hour. I hadn't heard that it's a half hour. They're calling it actually calling it Nintendo Spotlight. And why don't even? I mean, obviously they're going to talk more about Mario, some Splatoon in there.
Yeah, Splatoon.
Would anything new be announced there?
I don't know. I don't even know that they spend that much time with Splatoon. They've spent a lot of time with Splatoon so far. I think they just put it out at this point. Maybe they have like a quick trailer for it, but Mario is the big thing.
Does Splatoon have a release date at this point?
Yes, it's July.
I think it's summer. Yeah, it's July. Yeah, it's like really close.
I mean, I knew it was summer, but I don't know if we'd actually heard an official release date for that yet.
Yeah, it's July something. Like they've done their test fires on it, so it's ready at this point. Like ARMS comes out like in a couple weeks. So
they got ARMS.
Yeah,
I feel like Nintendo's gonna release more deluxe editions on games that people might have missed on the Wii U,
Totally.
like they did with Mario Kart. So maybe like a Mario Maker Deluxe Edition or something like that.
I
I would
don't-
be very down with the Mario Maker version. I don't know how that works.
I
well
don't
on
know
the
how
Switch,
it
but
works. I don't know how that
I'd be
works.
okay with
I
that.
would be totally cool with it. Here, you can connect up your smartphone to your Nintendo account. Actually, that
mean-
would not be a terrible solution to it if they could make it work, but it's Nintendo and I don't trust them to make it work.
That is true.
I mean, their solution for voice chat on Splatoon 2 is selling you a headphone that you plug into your phone. God.
So that Splatoon one is not an official Nintendo thing. They just want you to use their app on the phone. The
Yeah, but it
Splatoon-
isn't-
Hmm.
So that headset is not. I mean, it's Splatoon themed, and
I think
stuff
it's.
like,
I think it's.
okay.
I think Hori is putting it out.
I know.
I think
knew
it's
that
like.
was
I think
coming
it's
out, but-
like. Hey, we've licensed it, but it's not like the official like Nintendo branded thing.
Yeah.
But it's also a nightmare scenario, where I
Yeah.
just
The-
don't understand why they.
they'll detail what their online thing is, like, because they have to at that point.
They
Uh,
started doing that stuff where they were saying like it's not going to just be this one time thing. It's going to be like a rotation of games.
Multiple
so
games. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Netflix for games. Like
Which-
that's an idea that
That's
I
a-
could potentially be on board with.
That's a better solution, but also, yeah, like they've also like they confirmed the $20 thing. So like they're starting to get out there in front of it.
What's the
but
$20 thing? What?
It's $20 a year. Yeah.
Okay, I
They
I
confirmed
knew
that.
I had heard that price before. Okay, you know
They
what?
confirmed it.
That's not bad.
It's not terrible.
That's
I'll take
that's
it.
probably okay. But I also
I-
don't know if I need to have that to play anything online if I don't care about
They've
Splatoon.
also
Yeah.
said that the only games that are coming to that service so far are NES games. They are considering bringing SNES games to it, which is super weird.
Well, I
They've-
mean, why
they're
would they
saying-
bring SNES to it when we're going to have the SNES Classic coming?
exactly.
Four consoles are going to be made in stores.
Line up and get your brass knuckles out to punch a motherfucker to get an SNES classic. Yeah, so the weird thing about those games is they've also said like all those games are going to have online components of something like Dr.
That-
Mario.
yeah.
I think they said it was Dr. Mario Balloon Fight and
So like
Mario
leaderboards.
Brothers- Mario Brothers 3. Well, so all of those games have like some form of multiplayer in them. But
What does Mario Brothers 3? Not like the thing
It has-
where you're
yes.
like in the
Yes.
thing and that's
Yes.
it. Okay.
yes, so that's what I would assume they'd be doing is
That's
just the
really
pass
really bad.
over. You know
Yeah.
what sounds like the most miserable thing in the world? Not playing Dr. Mario, playing Dr. Mario online. That sounds so miserable.
Hey,
Adam,
Adam, we're gonna get on Switch together. We're gonna play Dr. Mario against each other. Adam, let's do it. Come on.
I'll be there. You start it. You go. You start it. I'll be there. I'll be
Hey,
there.
I'll call you. I'll call you through the Nintendo app on my phone, and we'll talk voice chat.
The Nintendo app, or as it's being called by everybody else, Discord.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the fuck they do. They straight up were like, yeah, it's a half an hour. So what all can you show there?
Yeah, you can't.
Obviously,
really-
Mario is the big thing they're going to be pushing.
yeah.
I really hope they're like, hey, Hyrule Warriors DX, let's do it. I'm totally cool with that.
I
mean-
special edition for that. Yeah.
They
Deluxe
they
edition,
completely
yeah.
crapped on my hope of a Pokemon proper. Where the rumor was it was going to be called Pokemon Stars coming to the Switch. So I have no faith in Nintendo ever.
They also, Kyle, not to belabor the point, but you also know like they straight up had a Switch in that trailer for Ultra Moon and Sun. Like in the kids' room, there was a Switch.
I did not. Yeah,
They're
and
straight
then
up fucking
someone
with people.
and then someone posted, it was like the French version or something like that, posted coming to Switch, and they had to come out and be like, no, that was a mistake. We are not releasing this on Switch. Like, they had to put a press release out specifically saying, no, Kyle, your dreams are not coming true. All right. We just because we were talking about the Netflix for games thing, you think that Microsoft talks at all about their Xbox Game Pass thing that's coming?
Yeah,
that's I guess technically out
It's out
right now.
Yeah, it's
It's
not even technically
gold
out.
members. Well, for
It's-
gold members, it's out. You can't. I don't think you can get it besides that.
I don't.
Isn't it just like you get like the free preview if you're a gold member?
No, it's out. It's you can buy
Is it
that
out?
now.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
no,
out proper.
no, Adam, you can buy that. I will tax.
No, you can buy that because you have got an Xbox One.
You know, if they came out and said that Xbox Game Pass like went into their like Xbox Play Anywhere stuff, like that could maybe push me a little bit, but no.
I could have sworn at one point, and I had to double check because I've heard other people say this. I could have sworn at one point they said, yeah, those games are eventually going to be available on the PC.
Yeah,
And
maybe.
no, they're not. They're like, no, it's only going to be for Xbox One. Like that.
I mean, they might mean that the games that are already Play Anywhere enabled could, in theory, just by the how Play Anywhere works, would be able to be played on your PC if they were part of the Xbox Game Pass. But I don't think any of those games are.
No, because it's like Gears of War, Quantum Break, Forza, Dead Rising 4, maybe.
I think Dead Rising 4 was. I don't know.
I know it's on the PC. I just don't know if it was part of the Play Anywhere thing.
I don't know.
There's so few of those games.
Like I looked at the list of what was on Xbox Game Pass, and I just kind of was like, nope, I'm good. Like I've either played all of that or I've never been playing any of that. Like the only one that I was like, I never played that Gears of War remake. I bet that was all right. Like I kind of thought about that, but who's got time for that? I don't got time for that right now. Go back and play games from 2006. No, I don't got time for that.
There was a pretty big study that came out this week of like looking at a bunch of different Xbox One profiles and like looking at, hey, what's the use of backwards compatibility? And it's like almost like not there. Like very few people use it. So then like of course like Sony this week also was like, yeah, like nobody really wants it, so why would we even try? It's like, well, don't be a dick about it, you know? Like I want to play a couple of these. There are like a solid 2 or 3 of these games that I would like to play again. I would really like to have an easy way to play Asura's Wrath. Is that asking so much?
That would be one that I would definitely. I at some point will go back and play the Mass Effect trilogy, which I have on Xbox One because I got their EA Access thing. That's a really like. I could look at get it. Like I actually technically own all those on PC, but I don't own any of the DLC. So it's like I'm not going to go buy all that DLC.
They're also like all mouse and keyboard, which is not the way that I want to play those games. You know,
yeah, like, I don't have to relearn how to play Mass Effect. I already know how to play Mass Effect, so
yeah. I just know it's in my blood.
Yeah, so I don't know. Like, I don't know if they talk about that or they might show up at some like, hey, well, this has been really successful. Lots of people are enjoying this. Like, at least 5 are enjoying. I don't know. They might bring it up at some point, but it's one of those things. Like, it's a cool idea if you. It's kind of the same thing like PlayStation Plus and whatnot. It's like, hey, if you don't buy games and there's a lot of games on this you've never played, like that is a really solid lineup of games. Like, yeah, go play Sunset Overdrive, go play Saints Row 4. Like, these are good games. I've just played all of those games. It's not Microsoft's fault that I've played all those games. I play a lot of games.
Yeah. You know, I realized after the Ubisoft thing, this is totally unrelated. I realized after the Ubisoft thing, there was like one Ubisoft game that came out this year that like we completely fucking forgot existed in the whole discussion of like, what is the stuff they could show off? Could they show off Rainbow Six stuff? We totally forgot that For Honor was actually a game that came out this year, huh?
Oh yeah.
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 I mean, I mean, look, we've already started making that list for Game of the Year stuff.
It
like,
was
we're, like,
on it within the
pre-planning.
week.
I think it was on it like the day after I got it. And I was like, yeah, no one's gonna remember this game. No one will remember this game in 8 months.
It's a really good game. I barely
fine.
remember it, but it's a good game.
It's a fine. It's a fine.
It is this
It's
year's
fine.
it is this year's Battleborn. It is absolutely this year's Battleborn.
No, don't be that. That's a little cruel. I think. Don't.
Halo
so-
Wars 2.
They started
Halo War
showing
2,
off
that's a good one too.
the numbers for that game have severely dropped. I think I saw something that was like a 90% drop in the player base. Which,
Wow.
yeah, that's a nightmare to play with a multiplayer fighting game that kind of requires online for you to have any sort of challenge out of it.
Yeah.
Bots are kind of terrible, so
Okay, so aside from like the press conferences and stuff like that, is there any particular games you're like hoping to get like surprise announcements or that you just see more stuff about? I mean, the one that I would always go back to is I would love to see a Borderlands 3. As much crap there is about Gearbox and what they do, those Borderlands games are real good. Most
Border
of them
Worlds.
are real good. And they've been talking about how they are like they're not dumb. They're making Borderlands 3. It feels like about the right timing. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know where something like that would show up if it would. But that would be something pretty cool. I mean, we should also say I don't. When is it actually? There's a PC Gamer conference as well somewhere during here.
Oh, really?
When is that? I'm forgetting when that is.
Yeah, but the PC gamer thing is always so like, hey, we got these guys to just sit and chat about this game. It's always stuff that we like know. Like the only thing.
Yeah.
So the thing that they've said that they are going to be showing off is it looks like they are showing off basically XCOM 2's Enemy Within. There.
Oh yeah, I did see that. Yeah, whatever their next version of the XCOM 2 thing is going to be showed off. I really liked XCOM 2, so that would be cool.
Yeah.
Is there other things you guys like would like to see or want to see more of, or something we already know?
I can't really think of any like new games, but I definitely want to see more from Destiny 2 because I know that I'm going to put like a serious amount of time into that for like the next couple years.
Want to start planning ahead of how much of your life you're going to lose?
Yeah, and I also kind of want to see more on Overwatch. I've been on another Overwatch kick lately because of the anniversary, so I'm always interested in what characters they're bringing and whatnot.
Double XP weekend this weekend.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
It's weird that it doesn't start until like tomorrow night at 6 or something like that. It's a weird
today.
time.
Started today.
Oh, was it today at 6?
As we were recording.
Okay.
Cool.
Well,
Definitely tomorrow.
I know what I'm going to do tonight.
Yeah. I'm gonna have. I had a really so you guys saw me just bitch about Overwatch players. Man, there are some really terrible Overwatch players. There's some really terrible ones, and I got stuck with a series of them. It was the sort of like last of the ones that you do for the weeklies, and I just kept getting stuck with people who were being idiots. So like I went to the 3v3 lockout, and I got stuck with the same 2 players over like 3 matches, and they would never switch their characters. So it was always a Hanzo, and it was always somebody else. I don't remember who the other one was. It was always going really bad. Eventually, I put down Orisa, and one of the people finally decided to switch. Actually, they both decided to switch. One of them was Soldier 76, and one of them switched over to Zenyatta. And so, like, I'm the character who doesn't have healing, so it makes sense that when Soldier 76 is like in the middle of fucking healing himself, you put the good orb on him. Fuck this game forever. I hate it, but I love it, but I hate it.
Sorry.
We really need to have like a separate just Overwatch podcast because we can talk about it forever.
I mean,
Overwatching.
look,
Overwatching.
yeah, our multiplayer game podcasts. So like we could have done, like we straight up could have done like a series of podcasts on Heroes of the Storm. Which again,
Yes.
like, I can straight up
Damn
like
it! I was playing Heroes of the Storm last night. It's still a thing. God damn
hey,
it!
so we got another event we got to do, Kyle, because they're
What's that?
doing.
No, I hadn't heard this. Stop. Stop.
You have to play 15 matches, and you get an epic loot box, and you also get Arceus's Death Horse, because of the new character from Diablo 3 that they are adding in.
Oh yeah, Mathael. He was cool.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that character. That's
Yeah.
super cool. All right, so getting back to E3, another one that people are throwing around that we could potentially see is Cyberpunk 2077. I don't know if I buy that.
I don't think so.
Is that CD Project Red?
Yeah,
Yep.
that's CD Projekt Red. Like I remembered the trailer that said coming when it's ready. Like I think they know that they don't
Yep.
they don't have any type of timeline or anything like that. They made a whole bunch of money off of Witcher 3.
Man, that's such a good game. Jesus.
But
Also-
but Gwent, like the thing they're working on, Gwent is actually officially out now and available to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they are freed up to, actually work on. I'm sure they've been working on it all along, but maybe they're a point where they actually something to show.
Hey, also,
Um,
while we're on the Cyberpunk thing, did you guys see the deal that went down today? CD Projekt Red announced that they were being asked to pay ransom. Some asshole stole a bunch of CD Projekt Red's data from within their servers, and they asked for a ransom. And straight up,
God.
CD Projekt Red is like, no, we're not going to give you a ransom, and we're going to advertise this. Like, yeah. So totally like super
Fucking heck.
shitty of whoever this guy is, guy or gal, who knows? Super
Let's
shitty
not
of them.
discriminate.
Let's not
Yeah.
discriminate. Whoever it is, they're an asshole.
Yep.
But yeah.
Yeah.
So but I don't think we see anything, or if we do, it's going to be another like short trailer thing.
Yeah.
I think that game probably doesn't come out till 2019 minimum. Especially when you consider like how potentially different that game is from anything they've worked on up to this point.
Yes.
Yep.
Very much so.
Cool.
And like they were putting out DLC for that game last year, for Witcher 3. So, still early stages. I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. So you got what, like Kingdom Hearts is potentially out there. Final Fantasy VII is potentially out there.
Nope. I'm doubting those. 3 years. We're gonna see those within 3 years. Mm.
I mean, look, there's always
announced, they also announced the reason I doubt that is because they announced that 7 they are changing who is handling that game. They are bringing
That's
that
right,
production completely in house. So we are definitely not seeing that game any point soon. And same thing with Kingdom Hearts. Those games don't exist. They don't exist. They're lies.
Like Kingdom Hearts, we've at least seen like gameplay trailers for. Like we know.
Did you though?
that
Or did you
someone
see
mocked
this
up
series
something that
of
looked like
mirrors?
trailers.
Did you see the series of mirrors that we put up that we put a Goofy image on?
I mean, hey, Final Fantasy VII is supposed to be episodic. Maybe they got episode 1 ready to. No, they really don't. It's just not true. Just stop perpetuating the rumor. Yeah, I think that's about everything that I can think of. I mean, we always hope for surprises and stuff like that.
I really
and I'm
hope for
sure there's going to be a
surprise.
couple.
I do really hope that this year we get just a surprise just somewhere. They're like, yeah, we're doing another Alien Isolation game. I think that'd be fucking great.
That'd be
A
cool.
new Alien movie coming out. It's okay. Make another one of those. Make another one of those games. That was a pretty good game. You guys did good with Alien for once. So
Yeah, I'd like to see someone like either Sony or Microsoft or whatever get behind someone like Sony did with Horizon Zero Dawn and just say, we're gonna just put a whole bunch of money behind this brand new IP and just let them do it. Like that worked out really well for Horizon Zero Dawn. I would love to see someone else pull something like that up. I don't think Days Gone is gonna be it. That does look cool, but I don't think it's not the same type of thing. So I'd love to see someone like put some, faith in something like that and not do the Microsoft thing of canceling it after 3 years of not talking about it. Not that,
what do you think
not that Scalebound ever looked that great, but
what do you think Sony's big Kickstarter thing is going to be? Because they've done that for the past couple of years, right? Like they did Shenmue, which not going.
I would say they've come out and say Shenmue's not going to be there. Also, Kojima said that Death Stranding is not going to have a significant presence at E3. I think he's going to be on some panel with Jeff Keighley at some point talking about stuff, but he's not bringing Death Stranding with him, which is disappointing. But whatever, that game might also not really exist. Thinking about talking about things that don't exist.
I mean, it's the sort of thing where like Guerrilla is working so closely with that. Also, though, if you're like, hey, by the way, we've got this Horizon Zero Dawn thing. Also, we brought something along from our friends at Kojima Productions and showing off the Decima engine. I
don't know, like random Kickstarter stuff that they would bring back. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
it's not gonna be Project Rap Rabbit, that's for sure.
Oof. Could be anything if they do it. So I don't know.
That Project Rap Rabbit thing. I don't know if you guys have been following that from the guys who made Parappa and Guitar Man.
Yeah.
Ooh, that thing. It looks. They showed off the first gameplay prototype, and they are only like 10. There's only like 10 days left in the campaign. They showed it off tonight, like right before we started recording. It looks really cool. But that thing's not happening. That thing's totally not going to get enough money. They're asking for like $1 million something, and they barely hit 200,000.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna.
So maybe like Jaffe comes up and he's like, "Hey, I want to kickstart a new Twisted Metal game because Drawn Together is not that good."
Yeah, right. Though
it's really not that good. Which sucks because like I've liked the stuff that guy's made before, but man, that game it's not only not good, but it's irritating.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. That's what I've heard. Yeah, I don't know. So yeah, I mean, hey, we're gonna find out in a couple of days. This whole thing kicks off, and then we're gonna look like idiots for not knowing that the Scorpio was only $250. And it comes packed in with the Xbox One Elite controller. Like, wow.
I mean, at that point, yeah, I will buy. Okay, at that point, I will buy one. Yeah,
I'd buy two.
Buy two, tape them together.
So,
Xbox Scorpio 2.
Oh, the one game that I do actually want to look at more, and it's not going to be at any of the press conferences. I want to see that new Call of Cthulhu game that they are putting out from the guys who made the Sherlock Holmes games, because that game looks like they maybe are getting the Lovecraftian elements of Cthulhu and like all of that stuff that Lovecraft did so well. It looks like they're actually kind of doing that really well, and it's supposed to be out this year, so I'm sure that game is going to be showing off in a pretty large presence. So hopefully that actually might show up at the PC Gamer thing. That might be the one thing that'd be like, yeah, that would be cool to see there.
So what's the one you guys are looking forward to the most of the conferences?
I think Microsoft. I think they have the. I think that could very easily be the most interesting one. Even though, like, again, I'm not going to buy the thing, but I think they have the most interesting potential there with what they could be showing off. They could be showing off something that's either going to be really cool, or you're going to be at the end just like, why the fuck are we even doing this? So that one I think is going to be the most interesting. For sure.
Yeah, I agree. I'm pretty sure Microsoft's going to be the most interesting because of Scorpio, but personally, I'm probably looking forward to Sony the most, just because I know that Destiny 2 is going to be there. And like I said before,
This is
I
just
know
the
that
Destiny
that's
2 show for you, Jesus.
God,
It's-
I
I
mean, I'm
mean-
right there. You know what's going to happen at Sony's press conference? They're going to tell us when the beta is, and like that's like
Yeah,
probably
there you
the thing I might be
I'm-
most excited about of all of E3 is tell me when I will play the game.
I'm
gonna
telling you
spend the rest
guys.
of my
and the
life
beta
playing
starts tomorrow.
before
Well,
it
so-
counts. Oh God, don't tell me.
So the last
I can't handle that.
last episode I said like they're just gonna be like, yeah, because we knew going into Destiny 2 there's gonna be a beta, but they're gonna be like, the beta launches next month, but you can play the alpha right after the press conference.
Yeah.
I will
Yeah.
be right there. I will be
I will
right
too.
there. I will,
Mhm.
So like, there's no
It'll
other
be
press
all
conference. It's all done. Shut it the fuck down.
yeah, do it. Yeah. So yeah, so we did have a poll out there in anticipation of this episode, asking you guys what you thought was the press conference you're looking forward to, and Microsoft definitely took it with 46% of people saying they were looking forward to Microsoft. A lot of people basically saying the same thing we were saying, which is it's Scorpio, and that definitely be good. Sony came in there with 31%, Nintendo was 15%, and then we had an other which. I'm not exactly sure how many people picked that, but the only person that replied said they were looking forward to the PC Gamer Show, like we were talking about. So I don't think I watched the PC Gamer Show last year, so I don't know. I haven't experienced that one yet, so I'll definitely make sure I catch it this year because this is only the second year they're doing it, if I'm remembering right.
Last year's was really painful. It was
Was it?
really
Okay.
painful to watch.
Hey,
Um,
hey, remember when Konami used to do press conferences? Those were really painful too.
At least those ones though were like so bad that like 1 million troops, like that's still a thing that every so often I'm just like, and I just gotta get up and just move my body pretty. Like I still fucking do that like years after the goddamn thing. Show was terrible, but it was at least funny.
Yeah,
PC Gamer
I
is
thought it
just
was-
boring, you know?
it's boring. Okay.
Like it's just
Okay,
like
maybe-
you just
maybe
sitting
they'll step it up
there.
this year.
And like there's a place for that sort of thing that they do. I think it's a really interesting concept. Was just like we're just gonna sit down with the developers of these games and we're just gonna fucking talk with them. We're not gonna sit here and we're gonna be like, oh, by the way, this is the big event. This is the big thing that we're revealing. Like they just kind of sit down and just like, yeah, like so when you're designing this thing, like how are you doing it? Last year's was really painful though because it was brought by AMD. And there was a serious chunk of that show that was dedicated to just advertising like the new AMD GPU. Like that was the thing.
Yeah.
They're like, look, we have this case. What's in the case? What could be in the case, everybody? It's the new AMD graphics card. And they went into like a whole spiel about it. And then they sat down and interviewed like the chief of AMD or something like that, and just it was so bad. It was a mess. And there's like I said, there's an interesting idea that they've got. They just need to like maybe don't advertise it as like because like
A
Giant
show,
Bomb
as a
does basically the same fucking thing. Giant Bomb does basically the exact fucking same thing where they just sit down with developers and just shoot the shit with them.
Yeah, I mean that's what Jeff Keighley does. Like Jeff Keighley released his entire schedule of the people he's going to be talking to and the games that they're going to bring with him during like all of E3, and like that's exactly what that's for. It's just I don't know.
It just doesn't make sense as like, hey, we're doing this like straight in the middle of these press conferences, which kind of gives off, you know, you could say maybe a false impression that like it's going to be similar to a press conference, which it's not, you know.
Yeah, I mean the big question mark this year is going to be what that Devolver Digital press conference looks like.
It could be really
as the newcomer, that's going to be real interesting to see what that looks like.
I don't know. I think they just don't. I think they don't give a fuck. So like they don't have like the corporate shareholders that they have to try to appease to. So in a way, yeah, that could totally be the most interesting of them.
Exactly. So, All right. Well, we got to get out of here. We got to go.
Yes,
we gotta,
I do.
We got to get on with this.
Oh,
We went a good half hour past when we were supposed to stop. But it's
yeah.
E3. I don't know what do you expect.
Yeah.
As always, you can find us on our website, pixelrelated.net. If you want to send us some feedback, we are on Twitter at, is it pixel_related, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Or pixel-related, or feedback at pixelrelated.net is another place that you can send us information. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I'm Kyle. That was Adam. That was Gus. And we will see you next time.